Hello, I'm Marie Laveria, and my channel is called Living a Simple Life and Finding Your Rhythm. Today I'm going to do something a little different. It is connected to living a simple life and finding our rhythm, but it's something that I've been feeling lately, and it's really been bothering me, and I wanted to share it with you in case you're going through the same thing. I have some suggestions on how to deal with it, and that's why I'm sharing it. So here goes. Lately, I've been very disturbed about the violence that I'm hearing about on the news, on the planet, in our country. And I don't want to go through the details of what's bothering me about it, but, it concerns the war in Ukraine, it concerns mass shootings, it concerns incidences of police brutality, and lots of other attacks and murders. And I'm not going to go into details of any of them because I don't want to re-traumatize you about them, but they're happening so regularly now that it's a daily occurrence. And so I wanted to share with you what's happening to me in case it's happening to you. I feel like I'm having secondary trauma from the whole thing. So I have actually stopped looking at the news when they cover those stories. So secondary trauma is similar to PTSD, not the same, but some symptoms are similar. How I'm experiencing it is I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling, I'm trying to think of looking at I have symptoms of sadness, irritability, anger, and feelings of helplessness. That's how I'm experiencing it. And I'm an empathetic person, as a lot of other people are as well. So when people suffer and I see it, I feel it heavily. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm certain that there's millions of people like me that have the same, reaction to people's pain. So I have a tiny suggestion to deal with this big problem. And my idea is similar to lighting a little candle in darkness. It's very little. And before I share my idea, I just wanted to quickly talk about some research that I found. Dr. Masaru Emoto, wrote a book called The Hidden Messages in Water. The Hidden Messages in Water. He wrote this book several years ago, and that's when it came out, I read it. Dr. Emoto conducted a study where he found people's thoughts and intentions affected the formation of water. So what he found was there were people in his study that were in one room and the water was in the other room, away from each other, totally separate. And when people thought positive thoughts and emotions and intentions, the water had crystallized to a certain point, and it was like a beautiful snowflake. And it was formed in a way that you looked at it and you go, wow, what a beautiful snowflake that is. So when the people thought negative thoughts, negative intentions, the snowflake formation was disconnected, misformed, and ugly. And it was really apparent. So my idea is to share acts of kindness and practice feeling gratitude in my life. So human beings are made mostly of water. I looked it up on Siri to be specific with the percentage. And it's between 50 and 70% we're water. Our bodies have water, made up of water. So think about how we are affected by positive and negative thoughts and intentions based on Dr. Emoto's research. So I was introduced to Dr. Emoto's book, as I said earlier, several years ago. And it just came to my mind in the last few days that perhaps we can do something about all this horrible violence in our world by practicing positive thoughts and intentions through practicing gratitude, feeling gratitude, appreciating gratitude in our life, and acts of kindness. So I'll just talk a little bit about how I'm going to do that. So the gratitude thing, I've mentioned it in my other videos. If you've heard a few of my other videos, you might have heard me say to keep a gratitude journal. I suggest that people go to the dollar store and get a composition book for $1 and just list all the things that you're grateful for. And every time you list something, you put the date. So later on, you remember when you put that in there. So list all of your gratefulness, why you're grateful, what you're grateful for. And when you remember new ones, you just go back and add them on. So you have a grateful journal and you read it ever so often. Like when I feel sad and hopeless, I go to my grateful journal and read it. And I allow myself to feel the feeling of gratefulness, of gratitude. And that goes out there. So that's one way. And the other way is acts of kindness. Acts of kindness can be anything. You could be walking on the street or in the store and just smiling at people. You know, people that look like they're lonely, you smile at them. It's not a big deal. It's not something I think about doing regularly, though, I have to tell you. And then if you have a neighbor that's kind of like what we used to refer to as shut-in, an elderly person that doesn't have much family and they don't have the capacity of going out, especially here in Maine. In the winter, it's hard for elderly people to go out because of ice and snow. You go visit them for 10, 15 minutes and just to say hi, how you doing? That's an act of kindness. And there's a million other ways that you can come up with. It's just being kind. So what I say is acts of kindness are pure, loving action. And they can be very short, limited time-wise because we are really busy people, but it's important to fit them in there somehow. My challenge to you is to be open to these two practices. And when you find an opportunity, do it. And send your powerful, positive energy into the world and know that it will make a difference to someone else, and to yourself. So thanks for listening. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And also I offer membership if you're interested in supporting my channel. Thank you.